Welcome back to Sunrise Daily, where today we look ahead of the general elections. Well, already you know that the political climate is getting inclement, and as a matter of fact, some say it's already beginning to rain, and others think, who knows, it just might begin to pour. Well, Mr. George Etomi joins us now. He's a legal practitioner. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Chairman.
Well, usually this kind of period, you expect a lot of political activity. Already, some state governors picking up the expression of interest forms, different states. We've seen Taraba, we've seen Imo, different political parties also deciding to get into the fray. Yesterday, they had this validatory session for some ministers who quitting that position, saying, we're going back to our states to get in the ring, if you could use that phraseology. But looking through all of this, yes, it's normal, but the kind of activity you see so far, what's your assessment of what you've seen?
Well, put it this way, we are in the reset button mode. So you can expect that everyone is gone back to the starting line. And what you see is a flurry of activities in which people are posturing. Some believe they can genuinely win, they have good chances to win. Others are clearly posturing so that from any fallout, they still get some sort of advantage going forward. Or whatever the case is, it's democracy. Freedom of expression, freedom to aspire to the highest office.
Let's look at the presidential perspective.
Sure.
The PDP, say some of them mostly say they've endorsed the president to go for another term. They give all kinds of reasons, giving president another climb, saying, look, if a man is leading your party, he's the #1 citizen. You don't expect to see other people come battle with him. So they say to that extent, go on, Mr. President, we've endorsed you, but I think they will still have their Congress and eventually do what they have to do. But the APC looks as if they will have some interesting primaries for that particular one. Yesterday, General Buhari declared he will contest Atiku, also wanting that ticket. And then there's word that who knows, Kano State Governor may also get into the fray. This sets it up for a scenario here, isn't it?
Well, like I said, it's the beauty of democracy. Now, if you look at the APC, everyone was expecting this consensus arrangement to come from the APC. And the speculation was that the reason why it has taken this long before hearing about aspirants, at least definitively now, is because they were trying to work out a consensus arrangement. But it would appear that new factors coming into the APC, the breakout governors from the PDP who've joined have into the mix of the APC, there is a new gravitational shift. So I think those who expected that it would be an easy ride for General Buhari will be disappointed. He'll have to go and make a case to be the flag bearer. And Kwakwanso is also posturing to, the governor of the Kano State, Kwakwanso, I'm right, yes, is posturing to get in the fray. And Atiku has already said he's going to go in. Let them go make their case, because only a few months to the elections, it's still a bit mind-boggling that the opposition party has not told us who their presidential flag bearer will be. You would have expected they, more than the party in power, would have long before now had somebody behind whom they should have rallied, and they would have been pushing through. We're hearing about the Marshall Plan, and the discussions would have centered around what this Marshall Plan would be. But only 3-4 odd months to the elections, we're still talking about who the presidential flag bearer will be. But whatever the case, I have always looked at things from an optimistic standpoint. We're going to have very healthy and robust cases being made for why, who should be president. On the part of the PDP, I do subscribe to the view that under the presidential system, it's very unusual for the sitting president to be challenged. If it was a parliamentary system, that would have happened. There might perhaps have been a palace coup, eased him out, if they feel that he does not present the best chance for them to retain power. They would have done that. They did it to Margaret Thatcher, if you recall. But with the presidential system, it's often assumed that they should rally behind whoever the president is. So I'm not too surprised that the PDP is endorsing Mr. President. But whatever the case, in another 2-3 weeks, it will be very clear who the two candidates would be.
I mean,
and as they say, let's tango.
This one just popped up, I remember. I mean, speaking about the PDP,
sure.
After that endorsement, there were other headlines that the governors also said the deal might have been, yes, we will endorse you, Mr. President. You in turn
take everyone all of us along.
Because we also have got to let people who are coming behind us get our blessings, in the manner of speaking. But now it looks as if the party has said no endorsements from state governors or blessings or who may succeed you. And it looks as if the governors are going to have this meeting saying, look, what's going on? We endorse you. It's supposed to be a quid pro quo kind of arrangement.
Yeah, it's not strange. It's happened in the past. If you want us to endorse you, then you must endorse us. Remember, many governors too are interested in who succeeds them. Some want to go for a second term. And everyone is, as I say, it's posturing. Because what's happening is that the horse trading that's going on behind the scenes is actually the real elections. Because that's where everybody's making their case. And if you want me to support you, then I expect you to support me. And then we can then go with this united front to fight it out when we come out into the open. So I can assure you, the more important fight going on is the fight behind the scene. So which is why it's coming out in the form in which it's coming out. Now, whether that is democratic, and whether it represents the will, or it will represent the will of the people, still a matter of conjecture. And Ekiti, I'd like to discuss Ekiti a little bit, because I know I've seen very good programs on what has gone on in Ekiti. Why is there a court case after the people have spoken? It still comes around what we're talking about. We must work this democracy to the point where it's the voice of the people that matter. And for me, once the people have said this is what they want, it's too immaterial for us to go to another forum to try and override the will of the people. That's my concern about some of the shenanigans going on in Ekiti. The people have spoken. Let them live with their choice. And if in 4 years they found they made a mistake, they have an opportunity to correct it. We must let democracy thrive.
Well, today he's been sworn in, but let's not dwell too much on that, because I mean the elections there, it's over and done with, and the inauguration is about to take place today. If there's anything, perhaps we'll be looking at the task ahead for him. But let's look a little more as to the permutations within the political parties, especially for the presidential race. We're talking about both parties now. APC, you say that you're surprised that at this time they still haven't come up with a candidate, whom everybody's throwing their weight behind. Do you think that this declaration, for presidency is also a way to show the kind of following they have? Because it would seem also, we're just reading in one of the papers now, that APC governors broke protocol to, attend the rally of Buhari.
Sure.
And we did see quite a number of them there, and quite a number of, bigwigs within the party at his declaration as well. Do you think that this is some subtle show of force to ensure that, perhaps other aspirants, mellow down a little and see the person who has more clout within the party?
Well, I agree entirely with you, except that it's not subtle. It's a clear show of where the gravity should go. And that's what you're seeing, everybody trying to endorse him. Yes, again, I go back to the point, this should have been done a long time ago. Because what we want to look at are the programs. The campaign will be very robust. You're trying to unseat a president. You've got to be out there long and heard long enough for Nigerians to change their mind. There's always, especially in developing economies, for incumbency to play a strong role in who gets elected. So they should have done this long before now. Now, we still, in spite of the obvious show of clout by Buhari, we still have Atiku in the mix. Kwakwanso represents a different generation within the APC, and they're going to make a strong case. And in the overall context of the polity, the younger generation are going to have a greater say going forward. So if anyone wants to make a case, you can't ignore that constituency. And I'm sure that's what Kwakwanso is going to pander to. Because in the end, once the choice is made, then you're going to go out there and seek those votes. So it's important to have your permutations right. Now, early days yet, whether or not this show of obvious pull by Buhari will count for something for the APC. The campaigns in the coming months will let us know. But again, I still think this should have been done much earlier.
Do you see a dark horse emerging within the ranks of the APC?
I believe, yes, it's very possible. It's very possible, because if you read between the lines of what's going on, there's clearly a feeling by, again, and I think it's a generational thing, there's a general pull towards a younger generation. If we're going to make a case for the APC to unseat the PDP, then we really need to present something fresh to Nigerians. This is the feeling, this is the feel that I get from what's going on. So I wouldn't totally rule the fact that there could be a dark horse.
Looking within the ranks of the PDP as well, it's not been an easy battle for that particular party. We've seen how far it's come, divisions. They don't want to call it divisions because, of course, that is why 5 governors left that particular party, and what is happening in the House, in the National Assembly, you know, and the fact that in spite of what the Constitution says, they have clung on to the fact that they do have a division. But let's not go into the history of that now.
Sure.
Let's come down to how far they've come. It was seen that the dust has somewhat settled for them, but it wasn't without, you know, some twists and turns here for the presidency. Even as at now, the president is yet to declare what we've been getting, right, middle, left, center, are endorsements. But still, it would seem that all is still not settled for him, or do you think it is?
Well, it may not be totally settled with him, but he is the clear favorite, because whoever is going to make a case to unseat him will have to make a pretty strong case. Incumbency, as I told you, is a very strong factor in these climes. So, and he has not said he's not going to run. And you just really need to read between the lines to know that he's going to run. So what the PDP will be judged on will be their record, because there's something to judge them on. And that's why I'm a little concerned about APC leaving things till this late, because they would have had enough time to attack these records and present somebody who can do better. But what we've seen in the last several months have been each time PDP wants to flaunt its records, APC sort of tries to debunk it, but they debunk it behind so many screens, not a clear candidate. I don't know whether that was deliberate tactics, but it still leaves many Nigerians wondering what they truly stand for. But the PDP would be telling you, well, we're doing power reforms, we're delivering on all our promises, and there's really no other voice behind somebody saying, no, that's not true. I can do better. Because at the end of the day, because it's a presidential system, it boils down to the personality.
Do you think then that, you know, you've wondered whether leaving things to this late is a strategy on the part of the APC?
Sure.
Perhaps it is, perhaps it is not. But how do you think it's too early to start rating what their chances will be like at the polls?
It's maybe it depends on who you are talking to. I mean, what we're seeing are very divergent views about if you get somebody who is pro-APC here, he'll probably just tell you their chances are 80 to 20 because they feel they can shoot the PDP down on its records. If you speak to a PDP stalwart, they will tell you, this is our record. There is no alternative. And human nature for what it is. You will want to dwell with the devil you know, as they say, than that angel who is still masking itself somewhere. So maybe early days yet to rate